So my neighbor the other day stops me and he says, "Did you see the size of that raccoon?" I said, "No, I haven't seen any raccoons." He says, "Man, big raccoon." I'm like, "What, should I get the trap?" He's like, "I don't think it's going to fit in the trap." I'm like, I got that like, wow, that's pretty big. So anyway, fast forward, I go over to the car show on Friday night and I do my photos and stuff. And I'm thinking about getting some beers. And I'm like, nah, I'm pretty whooped. I'm just going to go home and, relax. So I go home and listen to my podcasts and stuff. And about midnight, I hear this. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? And I'm like, oh my God, where's that coming from? So I get up out of bed, I look down the hallway, nothing. I'm looking around for like sheetrock out of a ceiling, and I hear them again. It's coming out of the third bedroom. Now, the third bedroom, you don't know, but the ceiling was ripped out about 15 years ago, and there's no sheetrock up there. It was just insulation. So I guess these guys, this raccoon, decided to go on the insulation and fell through it and knocked some stuff over. So I'm like, I don't want to deal with this at midnight. So I'm listening, and I'm like, man, it sounds like a baby. He's calling for his mom. Uh-oh. I'm like, I hope that his mom isn't that 25, 30 pounder, because that wouldn't be good at night, I'm like, no, I'm not dealing with this at 12 o'clock at night. No way. So I call up my friend on the phone, and she goes to bed really late, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So she starts talking to me, and she's kind of listening to the little chirps and stuff from these guys. She's like, "You need to call the cops." I'm like, "Linda, I'm not calling the cops at 1 o'clock in the morning to come over and you remove a fucking raccoon, from my house at 1 o'clock in the morning." She's like, "Well, call a trapper." I'm like, "I'm not spending $500 to call a trapper to come out at 12 o'clock at night. I'll deal with it in the morning. I was just looking for like a little bit of like hey, everything's gonna be okay." And now I'm like in a tizzy. I'm like, besides that, mom might rescue him, because you got a little raccoon trapped. He fell down there. She'll come down, pick him up, and take him back up, and I'll deal with them in the morning. So as we're on the phone, I'm like, oh, I think mom's here, and I'm looking up at the ceiling, and just as I say that, I get another sound. I know exactly what it is. It's these shelves that I got mounted as soon as you walk in the door in that room. And, being that it's become like a storage room, an extra garage area, if you will, you normally like open up the door, you put stuff on the shelves. So the shelves are like these metal, like flimsy things. And, they're kind of like probably overweight now. So I'm like, uh-oh, mom just tried to get down out of the attic onto the shelves and she ripped all the shelves out of the wall. So my friend hears this on the phone. She's like, "Wayne, you got to call someone." I'm like, "I'm not calling anyone, Linda. I will deal with this in the morning." She's like, "Oh my God, do you want me to call someone anonymously?" I'm like, "Linda, don't you dare." So we kind of chat back and forth. I'm like, "Well, thanks for being there and thanks for being someone to talk to." So I get off the phone and I'm like laying in bed all night listening to these things chatter, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I come up with this plan, how I'm going to get him out. My biggest holdup, though, is that 25-pound mom raccoon. Because when raccoons are around, they're young, man, you don't want to mess with them, especially one that big. You know what I'm saying? So here's the plan. That's the room that they're in. I've got these all blocked off, closed, doors closed, latched. I've got this here, that there. That's the front door. So we're going to open that, and hopefully they're going to go down this and out the front door. All right? I will turn on this light before we get ready to go, so that it kind of directs them, but let's cross our fingers. We're getting close. So I get it all set up, and I got the camera set up, and the door's open to the bedroom a little bit. Front door's wide open, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, nothing's going on, not even peeping around. So I get a soda, have a couple cigarettes, still sitting there, I don't know, 20 minutes go by. And then finally I'm like, I got to see what's going on. Maybe mom got him last night, So I climb over the little fence piece, bring my camera over there, stick my arm through the door with the camera, and this is what I see. There he is. Uh-oh, there's three little guys. Now what? There was no mama. Maybe there's four. Tired. They're sleeping. Look at these guys. That one's free. He's scared. Maybe there's four. Oh boy. Now what? So I decide to wait it out. I'm going to sit on the front porch by the front door there. I'm going to have some Pepsis. I'm going to drink some, have some cigarettes and just hang out and wait. You know what I'm saying? I'll let them sleep in. I don't want to go in there and like trace them around the room and stuff like that. So I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. Probably an hour goes by. These guys ain't moving. Of course, it's light out now, and but they're in a different place than what they normally are. Normally, they'd be like, "Gotta get out of here," but after an hour, I go back in there, and now this is what I see. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? You guys are sleeping now and have been sleeping for the last 3 hours. What the hell? Meanwhile, my view on the front porch is this. So around noon, I decide to go get a couple beers. I pick up a 12-pack, I figure I'm going to have a couple beers, hang out, because it's kind of nice out, and I'm waiting for these raccoons. And besides, if I have a couple beers and then these three come out and they're like, Mama, I'm going to be like, oh my God, now I got three, orphans that I'm going to have to take care of. But, so I go get the beers, come back, hang out. I'm drinking beers like the rest of the afternoon. 3 o'clock comes, I'm like, man, I'm so tired. I haven't slept at all. I was up all last night. Now the sun is out. I'm drinking beers. These guys are sleeping. I'm like, screw it. I'm going to go take a nap. And, when I get up in a couple hours, it'll be 5. It still won't be dusk out, and I'll come sit back out on the porch here. So before I go lay down, I want to go take a look at them to see what they're doing, Oh, he's looking like he's going to start causing trouble soon. Ho, 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 ho. So I go lay down, I take my nap, I get up, I go back to check on the raccoons, and this is what I see. Oh. You could just hear how disappointed I was. They left me when I was sleeping. I wonder if they like someone up to like check on me and go, yep, he's asleep. Let's go. Let's roll. But I wanted to get them coming out the front door so I could be at least like see their reaction to me, whether they were like, oh, we're just going to walk right past you, or they took off and I could be like, thanks, come again, but I didn't get a chance to even do that. But at least they're back together with wherever they're supposed to be, and I had little to no impact on them because I just let everything happen like it should, so that makes me feel good. And yeah, that's the story. You guys all have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and we'll catch you again soon. All right? Peace.